Welcome back to our pricing series. This video is called The Best Ways to Price. Now recently I was asked on a panel webinar that I did with Accounting Age, what are the typical models that you find an accountant using in practice to price their services? And I said there was three. The first one is what we might call a menu. That is simply a list of services with their prices next to them, and then your meeting with your client or your prospect becomes a little bit of a negotiation. I don't want this, I do want that, and they just chop and choose what they want to use. Now that might be great for them, but it's not great for you. And it's a bit of a win-lose situation because you don't get to deliver perhaps the full value that you can offer to the client because they are only picking the services that they think they absolutely need and not paying for anything more than the base minimum. And let's face it, you can't build a future on that basis. So that's the first way. The second way is what we might call a fixed price, which is quite simply, you understand what the client wants from you or your prospective client wants from you, and you then put together the entire package under one price. No individualization, just one price. And that is known as a fixed price for a set of services. The third most common model is a newer model, but still quite well established now in the West, and that is the magic of three, or bronze, silver, gold, or a choice of yeses. Now the great thing about this magic of three is that it turns a yes-no scenario, such as a fixed price, would you like it? Yes, no, yes I would, no I wouldn't, through to a choice of yeses. It assumes that you're going to be working with your prospective client. The only question is, at what level? This level, the second level, or the third level? So you can change what you offer in each of these sections to suit what the client feels is the best fit for them. So of those existing three, that three options one is perhaps the strongest method that you can employ. But is it the best way to price? Well, in my experience of 23 years of working with over 1,800 accounting firms on over 5 continents and 44 countries, there is a better way to price than that. Now, to explain this to you, I'm going to assume that we're talking to our client or our prospect about more than just the compliance work. Because to be honest, when we're talking about just the work that has to be done by law, there is very little to separate us out from our competition. And therefore, our client or prospect won't understand that there is much difference between us and our competition. So in that case, we have price sensitivity issues and we have a lack of value that we can offer. So it is important for you in your meeting with your prospect or client to educate that prospect or client about what you can do beyond the compliance, but only when it comes out in conversation that they need it. What do I mean? I mean this. Let's imagine that you are the accountant, that should be easy enough, and I am your potential client. In this scenario, you are talking to me about me leaving my current accountant and coming to join you for any reason other than price. Let's face it, if I was entirely happy with my existing accountant, we wouldn't even be having the meeting. You wouldn't be sat in front of me. So now that you are sat in front of me, how are you going to make the case to get me from this accountant to come and join you? And the answer is in the questions that you ask. So many accounting professionals believe they have to have all the answers. There's no need for that. I've got most of the answers, or your client has most of the answers. You need to know all of the questions to ask. You need to know my motivations for being in business in the first place. You need to know what is good and bad about working with my current accountant. You need to know what my future plans are, both professionally and personally. So on that basis, the more you find out about me and my business, the more you find out about the roadblocks and obstacles that I go through, the more you find out about the opportunities, the motivations, the things I'm excited about, the more you can match those to the services that you provide beyond compliance that will create a greater outcome for me, your new client. What are some examples of those? It could be so simple. It could be very basic. Depending on what level of service I'm already receiving, it could be that management accounting is something brand new to me. It could be that forecasting is brand new to me. It could be that using a cloud-based accounting package rather than a desktop-based one is new to me. All of these are something new to me that can either save me time, save me tax, create time for me, create money and opportunity or productivity for me. And those savings or those opportunities allow me to achieve something. So maybe I improve my cash flow. Maybe that cash flow allows me to draw a dividend. Maybe that dividend pays for my first holiday in years. Maybe it saves me time. Maybe that time saved can be reused in my sales efforts of my business. Maybe that increased sales allows me to buy a new piece of equipment for my business. And maybe that new piece of equipment gives me a competitive advantage. So do you see? You are not trying to sell anything. You are not trying to get me to buy your software or your management accounts package or anything like that. You are using those things that you can do as a vehicle of delivery for an outcome that I have told you I want. And the more I tell you what I want, and the more you can match your expertise or service lines to that need, the more you can talk to me about outcomes and less about services. Because to be honest, I don't care about your services, and I am your client. So your clients don't care or don't even understand what your services are. So we're not very interested. So don't talk to us about that. Talk to us about what changes in our life or what improves in our lives and in our businesses as a result of working with you through using these services. On that basis, you will notice that a magical golden rule arrives, which is the more outcomes I can see, the less I'm worried about your fee. That one again. The more outcomes that you can make me see, the less sensitive I am to the fee or the price. But that doesn't rhyme. So on that basis, the best way to ever price for your clients is to find out what your client truly is looking to achieve. Not what they want from an accountant, because they might not know what they want from an accountant, but what do they want to achieve and how can you, the accountant, get them there? When that happens, the conversation changes, the mindset changes, everything changes. And if you can then put a proposal or a quote to the client that you can say, hand on heart, this is the right solution for you. Hand on heart, this will truly, sincerely achieve what you want to achieve. You will find that your ability to charge higher fees happens automatically. It happens as a consequence. That is the best way to price for your clients. I hope you can immediately implement this idea to benefit your practice and your clients alike. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.